Backyard zip lines like this are nothing new, but this kit from CTSC really refines the backyard zip lining experience. Not only does it include extras that will help take the headache out of the installation process, but it also has a few things that will help protect your backyard, as well as the precious cargo, your kids riding the zip line. So stay right here and I'll show you what comes in the box, how to set it up, and tell you what makes this the kit that you're gonna want in your backyard for your family to have a blast on. But real quick first, what's up? I'm Jeff, welcome to my backyard. This is Fun-Sized Adventures, where I help parents like you get out on little adventures in your own backyard while keeping it on a budget. Now let's show you what comes in the box. We've got the basic wire zip line and all the little hardware that you're gonna need. We're gonna have the trolley that rides down the cable, as well as the seat that you're going to sit on. And then a few things that really set this kit apart is the tree protectors, the cable tensioning kit, as well as a full locking safety harness. Next, I'll show you how streamlined this setup process of this kit really is. First, you're gonna need what two anchor points you're attaching this zip line to. Here, we're gonna use trees. I have a 120-foot long main cable, and I have two big pine trees that are exactly 100 feet apart, so those are the two I've chosen to set this up from. The instructions have a couple different diagrams that outline how to get this set up at the right angle. But the important parts are as follows. You need the ending point of your cable to have the rider at a point where they're going to be able to get off the zip line safely at the bottom. And then you need the overall angle of the cable to be an 8% grade. That means for this 100-foot zip line, according to this, we're going to want 8 feet of drop from the beginning to the end. And depending on the age of your riders, you might want to even lessen that. I have younger kids that are going to be using this, so I actually put that up to where it's only about a 6-foot drop, so that way it controls the speed and everybody stays safe. But as you'll see, that's still plenty quick enough for them. And one bonus tip I'll give you that I've learned after setting up tons of zip lines is, if you have a level, or if you don't even have a level, there's a level app on your phone probably that will work just as well. You go to the top tree, and then I'll just pick a point, mark that point on the tree with some tape, take the level, put it against the tree, get the bubble right in the middle, and then look down the top of the level until I can see the other tree that we're going to end on. And then that way I know that that spot that is right lined up with the end of the level is the level point. So that way I know that I want to measure off of that point and go down. If I want a 6-feet drop, I'll go measure down 6 feet from that mark. And that way I know that I'm getting that angle precise. So now that we've got that planned out, it's time to start assembling the zip line. You're going to need a 1/2-inch ratchet and a 1/2-inch wrench. Take the tree protectors, wrap them around the trees at the points that you've selected. Then at the starting tree, you're going to take the sling cable, which is about 7 feet long, loop that around the tree. You're going to need a second person to hold this to the tree, otherwise it's going to want to keep falling down until we get the cable all set up. Then you're going to take both ends of that sling, attach them into the wider mouthed end of the turnbuckle. But before you do that, you're going to want to unscrew the turnbuckle almost all the way. That way, towards the end of this process, you're going to be able to tighten the line back up with that. Then you're going to put that bolt through, tighten that down, and then you're going to attach the end of your main cable with a loop on it to the other side of your turnbuckle. Take the main cable, pull it all the way down to your ending tree. At this point, make sure that you put the cable through the trolley and the spring brake, because if you get your zip line all tightened up and you realize that you forgot to do that, you're going to be really mad. I did that twice on this build. And I've set up tons of zip line. It's something that's so easy to forget, and you get so mad at yourself when you do. So you're going to climb up to where you're going to attach the main cable to your bottom tree. And this includes this ratchet strap, which is a tensioning kit. The long side of this ratchet has a loop on it. You loop it around the tree, put it through itself through that loop. This is a little wire clamp attached to a metal ring. You're going to attach that to the main cable about 3 or 4 feet before the tree. Then you're going to take this end of the ratchet strap, put it through that metal loop, and then take the rest of your ratchet strap, put it through here, and begin tightening it down. And that's, you're going to be able to get the cable nice and tight, but it's going to be attached via this ratchet strap. And once that's done, then you can take the cable without having to try to bother holding the wire tight, which is the most frustrating thing with putting a zip line up. And it's just so much simpler this way. And you take that wire, you put it around the tree on the tree protector, and then you're going to take your 3 wire clamps that are included, place them over the main cable and then the end of the main cable after it comes around the tree, and then tighten those 3 down. You're going to want those slid in as close to the tree as you can, but you can't get them too close, otherwise they just bend the cable too much. And then once those 3 cable clamps are tightened down good and strong, then you can undo the ratchet strap, take that off, and your zip line is most of the way tight. Now, if you've gotten to this point in this video and realized that you bought a kit that did not come with this tensioning kit, don't worry, stay tuned to the end of the video. I'll show you where to go to get the information you need to get a zip line nice and tight without that extra piece. Now, we're almost there with the setup. You're going to go back to the top of the zip line where that turnbuckle is, and you're going to tighten that up. And that's easiest to do with a couple big screwdrivers. That way you could put this through the slot in the middle of the turnbuckle, crank it around, and this one you just put through a hole at one end just to hold it steady, and you just keep tightening that up until the two screws are just about touching. Then you won't be able to fit the screwdriver through anymore. And that should get your cable as tight as it's ever going to need to be. And it's super simple. But quick, before anybody rides on the Zipline, you're gonna wanna test the weight of it. Now, they recommend in the instructions to try to hang like a 350-pound person. I don't have a 350-pound person, but I am by far the heaviest person that's gonna be riding this Zipline. Wear gloves for this, because this might tear your hands up to hang from that wire. Reach up, grab the wire, and hang from it in the center and at either end, and then re-inspect the hardware and make sure nothing has changed. And if it hasn't, then you are good to go. You're ready to get the trolley assembly ready to ride. So in the kit, you're gonna have a locking carabiner you're gonna put over the bolt at the bottom of the trolley, then hook your swing up to that, tighten the locking carabiner up, and then adjust the swing so that the rider can sit on the seat as well as hold the handle at the top, if at all possible, and then you're good to go. You can start having fun. So assuming you did everything right the first time, this install probably took you about 45 minutes. If you're like me and you accidentally set the whole thing up without the trolley and the spring brake on there, it probably took you closer to an hour and a half. But I like to blame stuff like that on trying to film this and set it up. At this point, the last thing that is in your kit is this safety harness, which is a great addition, especially if you have riders that you're not sure if they're going to be able to hold on to the handle and you just want the extra layer of safety. But as long as you set up your Zipline at the proper angle, and especially if you have younger kids, try to keep it as low to the ground as possible without them hitting the ground, then it's probably as safe as it needs to be. But this is a nice extra touch. And what you're going to do with this is there is this lanyard, which I had to actually double it up on itself a few times in order to get it short enough that my kids could hang from the harness as well as reach the handles. I'm not going to try to show you how to attach this harness here because if you've never done it before, it's kind of intimidating. I struggled with it for a while, but after doing it 5 or 6 times, I really started to figure out and it's become very quick to set it up. But like I said, 90% of the time, this is probably not something you're going to want to use, especially if you have multiple kids. Switching this harness from kid to kid is just not really feasible time-wise. It takes a lot of time to do. When they could just be jumping on the seat the normal way, grabbing onto the trolley, 99% of the time, that's going to be the way you're probably going to use this Zipline. But for that 1% of the time where you either have a young kid or somebody you just don't trust is going to hold on, this is a great addition. And that brings you to the point where I'm going to give you my review and tell you why I honestly think this is the perfect kit for most people. Now, full disclosure, CTSC did send me this Zipline so that I could make this setup video for them. With that being said, I've bought CTSC Ziplines myself with my own money in the past. I have one over there that I bought for my son for his birthday 4 years ago. It's been up over there for spring, summer, fall, 4 years in a row. I've never had any issues with it. So I don't have any problem telling you for certain that this is a quality product that you're not going to have any problems with in the long run. But that being said, there were a few things that were lacking from that kit. Number one, it was lacking some form of tree protection. And with this kit, they've solved that. They give you the felt tree protectors, wrap Velcro around the tree, keep the wires from digging into the bark and killing your tree. With that Zipline over there, I had to fashion my own, which is possible, but it's just great to have them come right in the kit. Number two, that previous version of a Zipline, you had to make sure that you had a kid that could hang on tight. And that's always a little bit worrisome, especially like I got that for my oldest son when he was 8, but then I had younger kids that were riding it as young as like 2 years old. But like I said, I try to keep them installed as close to the ground at a shallow angle so that the situation is not that dangerous to begin with. Since then, a lot of Zipline kits have started coming with safety belts. And I've never really been a fan of that because it looks like if the kid starts to slip off, they're going to be kind of stuck by this belt, but kind of not. It seems like it might create as many problems as it solves. But with this full harness system, for those kids that can't handle ziplining by themselves on just the seat, this is the perfect alternative for that. And to just have it come in the kit, this is a great addition. And then reason number 3, the hardest part of getting a Zipline set up, especially I had this struggle with that one over there, and then I made a setup video of that one, and comment after comment after comment, I know that the biggest problem people have with Ziplines is trying to get that main cable tight. And this kit, coming with the cable tensioner, just takes that frustration out of it and turns it into such a simple process. So with that being said, I don't think you could go wrong with this Zipline kit from CTSC. If you want to know more information about it, including the current pricing, check out the links in the description. Those are Amazon affiliate links, which means that my channel will earn a small commission at no extra cost to you should you choose to buy. But at the end of the day, if you're watching this because you already bought one and you need help setting it up, I'm glad I could help. thanks for stopping by the backyard. And if you happen to have bought a kit that did not have the zipline tensioning kit and want to know how to get that cable tight, check out this video right here. Until next time, get out there in your own backyard with your kids and ride some zip lines and have a fun-sized adventure of your own. See ya.